Hey everybody, and welcome to another football season, and that means another Perry's Inside Scoop. We're with the head coach, Fran Brown, as the Orange get set for Ohio on the season opener Saturday afternoon in the Dome at 3:30. And Coach, we're here for Perry's as well. It means the transition. We're out of summer. Still time for Perry's ice cream after a win maybe, but time to get down to football.
Yeah, it is, man. It was a good summer, though. I really enjoyed being up here in Central New York. It's a different atmosphere, exciting, too.
Yeah, well, everybody's excited for the football season. Training camp now coming to a close. You get squared up on an opponent. We'll get to your scouting report of the Bobcats in time here. What is your characterization of camp itself, the implementation of everything you've been trying to do here over the past couple of months, and how did that meet your expectations?
I thought the players did well, man. They truly adapted to everything that we asked them to do. You know, it's different for them. Most of the guys, some guys been here 4 years, 5, been in school 5 years. So to come and to have a whole new system, offense, defense, to come and to just have a whole new practice mindset, the way we practice, when we practice, just all those things, the tempo of practice and things of that nature. It's different, but they've adapted to it. They're really resilient. I've just been thankful for them to trust in the culture, believe in Dart, and guys aren't just saying it. You can see them living it. And just watching a bunch of young men grow together. Like, this is the first time this team has been together. I mean, just so many pieces, coaches, players, everyone's coming together, and I think that we're gelling together it's going pretty well, and everybody's just trying to follow the culture and do what's best for Syracuse.
Sure. I think the most exciting part of this, or one of the most intriguing parts, is this blend that you're there with returning players, new players, players that were maybe highly recruited to somewhere else but didn't play there, players who did play at other places, right? And we'll get to Kyle McCord, who is not a returning starter per se for Syracuse, but it was a starting quarterback at Ohio State a year ago. And as you pointed out, even the people who have been in this program, there's a lot of newness for them, your routines. Marlo Wax was telling us about the intensity of practice and how they've enjoyed that and seen the dividends of that. So you needed everybody's full attention here, right? I mean, you sense that the buy-in is what you want it to be, and I hope it would be, obviously, going into this opening game.
Yeah, I believe it is. It actually started with me first, though. I had to continuously do what I say I was going to do for them to be able to trust you, because you don't completely buy in unless there's trust. And now I think there's trust on both ends. I believe that they trust me, and I trust them too. I always tell them that, like, trust is just time, and I think we put a lot of time in together because we're around each other a lot. When you're around each other so much, you go through things together, understand each other, but just the time and us being able to teach them, I think they trust the coaches because they're able to teach them the X's and O's the way that they wanted to learn it. And just because it was new doesn't mean it has to take a long time to learn it, just taking time and just being able to go whole when it came to teaching them and things of that nature. The kids done a great job, though, man. These are great kids,
With the way the roster is composed, it's like, well, X number of people transfer in and all that, but there's way more commonality and shared experience than probably meets the eye. When you talk about a Kyle McCord, he's been friends with a number of his teammates here since childhood, and you've known him since childhood. Probably underplayed, right, in terms of the way that seasoning comes in here, and they pick up where they've left off because it has to help learning and it has to translate to the way they play.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, it's nothing like familiarity. If you're just comfortable and around people, and then it gives you a better sense of being able to learn, because you kind of bounce stuff off of each other. And then a lot of our kids, if you start to look at the roster, they're all from the same areas. It's kind of that 5-hour radius that most of the guys are from Canada all the way through the DMV. So you kind of got the same subcultures, and dudes kind of do the same things. They know the same people, and learning. A lot of these kids played against each other in high school, or played somebody that played some teams that play them. So they all know each other. They all know each other. That helps us a lot.
Yeah, so another of the themes is the proposed depth. Now, every team hopes that they're going to go undefeated, and every team is the freshest they're going to be all year right at the start. So on paper here, there's a lot of excitement. Let's start with kind of the running back group there, because I'm not the only one that thinks LaQuinn Allen is poised for a big year, but one of the reasons he might be is you have other options, right? How important is that in terms of competition for people's position, even in the case of certainly with McCord and Allen and Arande Gatson? Those guys had their positions, but there's others that can help out.
Well, I wouldn't say they had their positions. They had to work, because whatever they did before, that wasn't with me, and whatever I did before wasn't with them. So we had to work to earn each other's trust. But I would just say that LaQuinn, it doesn't matter who's behind him or who you thought was in front of him. His work ethic is on a different level. You know, his passion and love for football. If I said to our team the other day, if every player had what he had in him, we'd be a great football team, you know, and hopefully we work towards that. But I think that running back room is a special room. You know, Coach Nixon and Devin Red do an amazing job coaching them. Will Nixon came in to help us, and he brought a lot with us. And Yasin Willis is he's a force to be reckoned with, just to be young, and he's so mature in the things that he does, and he runs the ball with a purpose, you know, and being able to have those three in the backfield, and then you still have Jaden Hart that will be able to come in and play because the kid can play football. He's still just a freshman, but Yasin helps LaQuinn a lot, and I think Will Nixon also came and brought a different approach to their games that made both of them step their game up even more, just the way he sees football. And I can see LaQuinn, Yasin the other day. It was funny. I was watching, Hart was in at practice, LaQuinn, Yasin, and Willis. LaQuinn, Yasin, and Will, all three of those guys ran over to Hart when he did something well and was coming back talking about the play. So it's more, those dudes was over there talking about ball, what they seen, and they hurry up to go and correct him and show him what he could do better. But it was like they were racing to see who would get there first. So.
Yeah, it's a microcosm, really, of what can happen on the entire team. Every position group can work like that, and you look at some of the depth and options. It'll be exciting to see how it all unfolds on the field. I'm sure the viewers here are thinking, well, when are they going to get to the offensive line? That's a part that none of the rest of this matters, or can do it if you can't protect and you can't block. Your characterization of them at this point is what?
They've made the biggest jump on our football team. You know, Coach Del Williams, Phil Gard, and Dimitri Hill have done a really good job with them, but they've made the biggest jump on the team. We hope that jump's big enough.
Yeah.
You know, when the time comes, but they've made the biggest jump. I mean, they've changed their bodies, they've changed their mental. They just do a good job. They've been doing well. They're working on a lot of their things that we thought from last season wasn't up to par for them at the moment for what we needed to be able to do. And they've just been working on a lot, you know, being able to ID the box and count who all we putting in the box, who's coming, who they got blitz and things of that nature. They've been doing a good job. They communicate well together. They're better communicators. So by them communicating, if they're all wrong, they're still all right. And then hopefully we'll always get us in the right call. I think we have a really good experienced center, you know, and John Ray Reed, if he can just continue to stay in shape, you know, and do things the right way with John Ray Reed being that leader. You know, he calls himself the general. We've been messing with him. We've been calling him Dollar General. When he makes a mistake, he's Dollar General. But, you know, he's the general. He's the leader up there. And those guys trust him that he'll get them in the right call. And then we got Josh Iola, who's been playing a lot. Him and John Ray have been going at it in that position. So, I mean, we've been competing at a lot of positions, but it's been fun.
All right, let's see if he can work his way into a 5-star general maybe by the end of the year. All right, let's pick up the pace here a little bit and get onto the defensive side. You've been working closely with the DBs. Where do you see plays being made? We all think Fadil Diggs has a chance to be a real game wrecker. What's your thought on that group here before they've played a snap?
They play together. You know, they play together. We're just working on them, not worrying about who's going to make the play. Just do your job and the play will come to you. You know, the defenses will allow you to make your plays when they come your way, and just do your job until the play comes. But they play together. Fadil's been done an amazing job. The Tank, Deion Wilson, Kevin Jobity has been, he's been really, really different. You know, he's a guy that stepped up and playing well. Dennis is playing well. You know, I like the front four. Dennis and Chase have been going in and out. Those two guys have been doing really well. And then at linebackers, of course, Marlon Wax has been our leader on the defense and been able to lead us away with Anwar and Derek just constantly flopping in and out, constantly going in and out. And then from a secondary perspective, you know, I think our safeties are really good. Our corners are playing. Clarence has some experience, but not really at corner. He was at nickel. And, you know, we got other guys that's going to play. You know, Marcellus is young. He'll be a freshman out there early playing. So he's a freshman.
First game in the Dome. He didn't see what as a recruit.
Yeah, so he's got to go get in the fire. You know, so make sure he paid attention. So he put him in the fire early. I mean, it's a bunch of guys, but you'll see everybody circling in. You know, Bellamy will play, Devin Grant will play. Barry Buxton is who I can say took the biggest jump from a secondary perspective. I'm really proud of him. Like, he's worked his butt off, so we're proud to see what we're gonna do on defense. And then we got should be all right. James Hurd is going to he's been pushing Marlo Wax.
Yeah.
So it's a good deal with James Hurd pushing Marlo because Marlo knows, dang, I gotta work. I got this guy behind me that's really working.
Yeah, that's the manifestation of your talent acquisition, right? That you spent the offseason just how many good players can we get here? And there's more good players on the roster at the start of the season than there's been in an awfully long time. As we wrap up here, thought on Ohio. This is a program for fans that aren't aware that was built by Frank Solich, right-hand man to Tom Osborne at Nebraska. Very successful career in his own right. He's retired. Coach Albin, having taken over, was the head coach when Syracuse visited Ohio a couple years back. In fact, players like Deuce Chestnut starred in that game in Athens. Very good defense from a year ago. They won 10 games each of the last 2 years. They like to run the rock and play defense.
Yeah, they like to run the rock and shut people down from running the rock. Right. I think Coach Alban, he's done an amazing job. Hats off to him and his staff. I think they got a really good quarterback when you look at Navarro, and anytime you got a guy that can do both, is dual threat, that helps. Hunt's a good running back. I mean, they got tight end, like I said the other day. They got another tight end, Williams, that's there. It's another kid that played with my son. And I think their receivers are good. They're returning a few guys. And then they brung Dennis and other guys like that over from Michigan. Defensively, we thought their secondary was really good. And they do some good things. And I think he does a lot of really good things up front. But they're a sound football team. They stay in their gaps. They do what they need to do. They make their plays. I mean, the man won 10 games back-to-back. He's a really good football coach. I think his offensive line coach is really good. And I also think his receiver coach does an amazing job just watching, how their wideouts do certain things. So, I mean, he's done an amazing job the last few years. I think they're a really talented football team. I can't wait to play them.
Yeah.
We're excited to go out and compete against them. So it gives us a test to see who we are and what we're about. So take our hat off to them. But, we really focused on Thursday practice. So.
Well, clearly a well-schooled program. And as we turn our attention to game day, hopefully the weather cooperates. I guess this would be the wood that we can knock on. But it's a 3:30 kickoff, so everything gets fired up just after noon on campus. The quad walk, Coach, I know is really important to you. So hopefully the bodies can come out and line the walk. And what's the impression that you hope your kids get when they get off the bus?
That these people, they came to see us play. Like, these are fans. They deserve to see us play. We deserve to do this the right way. And we want to make sure that we put on a nice show for them. I want to make sure that they understand it. My goal for the game is to just go play football, no sloppy, make sure we tackle, and protect the football. If we're able to do those things, then we're displaying what Dart is, being detailed, accountable, relentless, and tough. So that's our plans. But we just like to see you there. And we know it continuously to grow as we continue to grow as a football team. This is our first time going out as a team, period. Everything's new. Everybody's different. So, I mean, it's even different for my man Jim and Brandon down in equipment and training staff. Sure. They haven't been around me before, knowing how this is going to act. So we're going to turn to you for some help, because you're the only one that's been here all this time. So
We've been through a time or two. Yeah. Looking forward to it, Coach. Best of luck, okay? That's head coach Fran Brown. It's an exciting new team, a new dome, and a new era. Starts Saturday, 3:30 in the dome as the Orange take on Ohio. That's our Perry's Inside Scoop. More information at perrysicecream.com.